Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about two products from the Innisfree Vintage Filter Collection, the last two that I have, which are the Cara and the Shadow palettes. So these are obviously together because they're both the eye products, and this would be an extremely boring review by itself, but I did really want to talk about it still. The review is going to be in two parts, so if you'd like to see the information and review for the Cara, it will be on the timestamp here, as well as the information for if you want to just skip to the eyeshadow palette. So getting started with the Cara, again we have some more timestamps. There is a product description, packaging, swatches, and final thoughts. So the product description says, vintage film camera filter like soft eye makeup, rosy brown colour, a wearable colour with a hint of rosy colour with something special that creates somewhat soft exotic eye makeup. Water-free formula for all-day smudge-free eyes. Water-free formula without any water to keep the first applied mascara for longer without smudging. Delicately applied different length lashes. Specially designed dual brush is good for applying on the both short and long lashes and in between lashes starting at the root. So the packaging is similar to all of the other products. It has the main colour being pink and green, and then it has some gold accents. This is just a standard mascara tube, but obviously the colour is brown. I don't really see a huge amount with the bristles that makes it very special. According to the product description, they have specially designed dual brushes, but I really can't see that. Yeah, they all kind of look, even looking down, some of them are slightly longer than others, but yeah, that's about it. I think I've seen brushes like this before as well. Looks like that. So I'm going to curl my lashes using my Kbeauty eyelash curler, and then we're going to give it a go. So I think I can definitely see a little bit of lighting on the colour of the eyelashes, because I don't think it's super lengthening or volumizing. I already have fairly long eyelashes. They're not like insanely long like crazy, but they're a good length. So I don't really think it's doing that much to them. So for the Cara, I both love and hate this. And I wanted to thank you guys so much for your suggestions on how to make it look a little bit more natural with the eye makeup, because the first time I used it, it just looked really weird. And you're right, if I put like a brown eyeliner, or I didn't own one, so I just smudged brown eyeshadow along the lash line, it looked so much nicer. I have used colours mascaras before, and this one is probably harder for me to use because it has pinky tones in it, so it's not just a brown colour, but it's also like a warm brown, like a blush brown, and I just found it a little bit difficult to use. I'm really interested in it, and because it's a mascara, I can't really give it away or sell it to anybody else, so I'm going to keep it in my collection for a few months and see if I can make it work with some like soft peach eyeshadow or something, you know, along those sorts of lines, to see if I can make a coloured mascara work for me a little bit better. So I'm super excited to try that out. The mascara, I think for me, it's, in terms of formula that is, rather than just thinking about the colour, it's okay, but I don't really like it. So it says that it has a water-free formula to keep the mascara without smudging, and I agree. This mascara does not smudge, but it's also so hard to get off my eyelashes that I'm kind of like, is it worth it? Like, I'm scrubbing at my eyelashes, like I'm soaking them with eye makeup remover, and it's taking like 3 or 4 minutes and it's still not coming all the way up. It feels really gummy, and I always feel like I still have something on my eyelashes even when they're completely clean. So I don't particularly like the formula for this one. I don't think that it's super volumizing or lengthening either. It just kind of made my eyelashes brown, and it was okay for me because I have a fair amount of eyelashes. Like, they're not super short and they're not super like flat or straight or anything like that, so working with what I've got is usually fairly easy. So when you see me apply mascaras, you have to keep in mind that my eyelashes are already fine, you know, like I'm not trying to lengthen short eyelashes, I'm not trying to curl or fan out eyelashes, so any mascara generally looks good on me, but I have to say that this one is not amazing. So if you're looking for something that's really lengthening or really volumizing, it's not one I'd recommend. If you're wanting something that just changes your eyelash colour, then yes, I would recommend it. So that's about it for this mascara. I like it, but I find it hard to work with, and I don't like the formula. So I'm kind of like, maybe it's that I like the idea of it because it's pinky brown, but like functionally it's not very good. and look-wise I'm not quite used to it yet. So it's a solid maybe in the future. I will continue holding on to it. Like I said, it's something that would just have to go in the bin if I wasn't going to use it again, which is why I try to avoid buying a whole bunch of mascaras all of the time. It's just really wasteful if I don't end up liking them, so I tend to stick to the mascaras that I like. But if you guys have any like mascara recommendations that you'd like me to try, please let me know. I'd be happy to try a few, just like not one every single time I do the review series, I guess. So now onto the eyeshadow, which is the bigger part. So if you wanted to skip to anything, here are the timestamps. We will have a product description, we will have the packaging, swatches, eyeshadow looks, I think, I can't remember what I call them, demonstrations maybe? No, it wasn't that, can't remember. And then the final thoughts. So for this one, the product description says, 10 tone-on-tone shades for deep and profound vintage mood eye makeup. The tone-on-tone shades in matte, shimmer and glitter textures create deep and profound eye makeup as if filmed with an analog camera. Even and non-clumping formula for a long-lasting beautiful eye makeup. Powder with fine particles spreads evenly without becoming flaky or clumping, creating an eye makeup that lasts for a long time. Clear and vivid colors for lightweight eye makeup. Clear and vivid payoff allows you to create eye makeup that doesn't look or feel heavy even after applying several layers. The packaging of this product is very cute. Again, it has the same colors. It's a very strong color theme in this one, and it has the gold embossing on the front too. Inside the actual palette itself, it does come with a name card in English, which I really appreciate. I know it's not necessary for a Korean brand to write English names on them, but it makes it easier for me for sure when they do come with these sorts of things, because I can read the, them straight off. So it just, yeah, it works so much better for me personally. There are 10 shades in the collection. There are 5 pinks and 5 browns. I found that the pinks were really cute, but the browns, I just felt like they were really dark. Like I really kind of struggled with the browns because I use a lot of lighter colours and do light eye makeup, so I felt that the browns were quite evening time for me. The first shade is called Angel, which is a very light pink. This one I can use it in the crease, but that's pretty much about it. It is very pale and it doesn't show very much on my skin tone, even though I am quite fair. The next shade is called Ribbon, which kind of looks like Angel but a little bit deeper in the pan, but on the eye it actually looks a little bit more brown based or a little bit more orange. I've used this one in the crease a few times, but it's not my favourite one. Lace is the pink shimmer of the collection. I think that this is a really beautiful shimmer. It's a little bit simple. It's kind of like a light pink and it seems to have gold glitter, which makes it a little bit more unusual, but it's not too over the top. The next shade along is called Rosy, which is an interesting shade. It does remind me a lot of Ribbon, but a little bit darker. And again, it's kind of that browner or more orange rosy red rather than the brighter pinks. Camellia is a deep red shade. This has kind of got a few of those brownie tones as well, and it mixes in well with Rosy and Ribbon, but it's a little bit too intense to mix with Angel or Lace just by themselves. I don't get a huge amount of wear out of this one, as I'm not super good with dark red shades, but it is a really beautiful shade nonetheless. This one is not sparkly, it is totally matte. The glitter you can see on my eyes is just left over from Lace. Milk Tea is the first of the browns in the collection. This one is a more yellow or orange based brown in comparison to the other ones. I found this one really useful for putting on the crease. Maroon is a kind of reddish brown shade. I don't think I would normally consider this a maroon shade. Definitely more brown, but it does have some red tones to it. I don't get the huge amount of use out of this one, but it is sometimes helpful for darkening up the outer corner for me. Teddy is a really cute caramel shimmer. This one again is not my favorite because it is a bit darker. I prefer my shades to be a bit lighter, but it is a really beautiful shade nonetheless, and it is a really beautiful shimmer. Latte is a really pretty milk chocolatey brown. This one is the one that I use the most out of all of the other brown shades. Not really in the crease, but like in the outer third, because it's a little bit dark for the crease for me personally, but it is a lovely shade. The last shade is Cafe, which is a really nice, very deep brown that is clearly not meant to be worn all over the eyelid like I am at the moment, but it does work really nicely in the outer third to deepen up the other shades. So for this look, I used Angel through the crease and then Lace on the lid. I wanted to make it really soft and subtle because I wanted to use the brown mascara, so I actually used Cafe mixed with a little bit of maroon, I think, to line my upper lid. I thought it was a really pretty look overall, and it looked better with the brown mascara than what I did previously, which didn't look so good. So for this look, I used Milk Tea in the crease and Teddy all over the lid. I also used a little bit of Cafe in the outer third, like just a tiny touch, and I think it looks really pretty. It's probably more of a nighttime look for me than a daytime look though. So I'm going to put Ribbon through the crease, and then I'm going to put a little bit of Rosy in the outer third and lace over the top of the eyelid. So we're going for a really pretty pink look today. So for this shadow palette, I'm not the hugest fan of the palette itself. However, I do think that the quality is really good. So in terms of the packaging, I have no problem with it. It's probably, I don't know how I feel about the pink and green still. Like, it's not really my cup of tea. Would have preferred it if it was blue or something, but it's still cute. I really like how little space this takes up. There's a very little palette. All of the actual palette packaging is utilized really well. There's a really gigantic mirror, and then the pans take up the most space. The little name card comes off, so if you want it, you can keep it. If you don't want it, you can get rid of it, which is also really handy as well. The color selection I don't like that much. I feel like the pinks all kind of look a little bit samey. Like, there's one shimmer obviously, which is lace, and then there are 4 of the matte colors. I feel like Ribbon and Rosy are really similar. Angel doesn't really go with any of the other ones. Like, it's very light and then they get very dark. And then Camellia, I'm still just scared of the dark shadow colors, so I can't say that I've used that one that often. For the browns, I think that the browns are really pretty, but like I said before, I really struggled with these ones because they're quite dark. So the brown shades are just really deep, and so I really had a hard time trying to make eyeshadow looks for the daytime. I don't really do evening stuff, like I'm not out here going on date nights or anything, so I didn't really have much use for them, to be honest, so they just really didn't get used. I did use Cafe, which is the darker shade, as like a mock eyeliner one time, and that looked really cute, so that's fine. In terms of the formula, I found them okay, but a little bit hard to blend. So especially with the harder colors, I always have a little bit of a difficult time blending them because I have fairer skin, and I just suck at blending, to be honest. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I can see other people blending eyeshadows so easily, and then there's me, and I'm just like, why do I look like I've punched myself in it? I don't know. It just, yeah, but I did find the darker colors significantly more difficult to work with than I do with the similar colors from a different palette. So I would say that the shimmers are nice. I don't think the shimmers are that special though. Like, in comparison, like, I've just come from the Dasique shadow palette, which has some really exceptionally beautiful shimmers. So comparing it to this is probably not that fair. But I feel like the shimmers in this shadow palette just really didn't measure up for me personally. I also found it a little bit limiting, like I could only do like 1 or 2 looks with it because, again, I'm not that inventive, and when they're all pink and they all kind of look the same, or they're all brown and they're all a little bit dark for me, then it just didn't really work out for me, I think. So overall, it's a really nice palette. It's just not exceptionally amazing. There are some good and bad things about it, obviously. So I love the packaging. The colors are interesting. Found the shadow was a little bit hard to blend sometimes. The shimmers weren't that amazing, which is pretty much everything that I just said, but like condensed just in. So it's not one that I'm going to be keeping, but it is one that I recommend for people who really like pinks and browns and are looking for the more darker shades or more deep shades, basically. Less shimmer, more mattes. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!